It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chili Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News. On this, the 14th day of January, got a couple things here that I'm checking on, still attempting to make sure that I'm live all the places I'm supposed to be. And let's see, I better take that off so I don't have a reverb. Yeah, that's cool. I'm on Facebook Live and of course on YouTube Live. Welcome aboard. Good morning, Gretchen. I saw that you were already in the house. Good to see you again. Tom Henry, welcome to you also. Tom and I spent some time on traveling with Bruce last night, and we're talking about Bonnie and her lack of sleep. And then she's not here this morning, at least yet. She'll probably pop in before it's over with. But anyway, good morning to everybody. Got a couple things to touch on, and before I get to the story this morning, we had, for me, a fabulous weekend with subscribers. I'm up to I passed the 1,700 threshold, and I'm up to 1,709 now. So if you got some new folks out there, welcome aboard. We're here on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturday mornings at 6 a.m. to talk about travel and cruise industry news. Then we post videos regularly on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. And we're starting with some Chili Chats programs coming up here in the very near future, where I interview folks, some influencers in the travel industry, some everyday folks that just like to go on cruises. So that's ahead for us in the very near future. Couple little business things for next week. I will be here at my normal studio on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I'm traveling to Kentucky to visit my son and grandkids. So Thursday's program will be coming to you from the kitchen table at Jason Falls' house. That's my son in Louisville. We'll do the regular live broadcast at 6 a.m. It'll just be in a little different area of where I'm coming from. And Saturday is a question mark. Whether I'm coming back, I'll try. If I come back on Saturday, I'll do the show out there and then drive back. I may come back Friday, so I'm back here for Saturday. So we'll see about that. But that's all up ahead. Okay. As a matter of fact, before we get to stuff this morning, because I got a couple rather lengthy stories to talk about, let's pause for a quick commercial break. Do you have a bad back, bad hips, bad knees, or any other mobility issues? Think about Scootaround. For scooters, walkers, wheelchairs, even oxygen needs, delivered right to your cabin. Scootaround for all your mobility needs on your upcoming cruise. Okay, back at it here. Let's see, that for some reason that went back with volume, and I don't want that because that'll cause okay, we'll just get out of that because I don't want feedback. Okay, now I think everybody's probably seen some news here and there about the Philippines volcano that went off. Quite frankly, I considered going live with the story when it happened on Sunday, and I said, well, it's just another volcano. They have volcanoes regularly out there. I'm not going to go live on Sunday when it happened. And as it's turned out after the fact, I probably should have. The volcano near the Philippine capital continued to spew lava, ash, and steam earlier today for the third day of an eruption that could be even much bigger and dangerous that come from warnings of the officials out there. There's already been thousands of people have had to fled ash blanketed villages in the danger zone. Now, the danger zone out there, folks, it encompasses an area that's about 400,000 people. We're talking really close to Manila, like 35 miles away. And when you're talking about blanketing ash, you can see on the picture here, the cars are covered in ash, which covers everything. I mean, it's just awful. There are indications that the magma is still rising in the crater of the Taal Volcano, according to the Volcanology and Seismology folks. They raised the alert level to 4, indicating a hazardous eruption possible in the hours or days ahead. Level 5 is the highest, which means an eruption is in process. The volcano was launching fountains of red lava 1,600 feet into the air with huge plumes of ash-laden steam that reached more than a mile high. So far, they've had 30,000 evacuees in an area that has 400,000. They're warning the folks not to return to their homes because they're expecting more problems. This is coming from the various officials out there. What about these other 400 to 370,000 people? I'm wondering if they, and I understand folks not wanting to leave their homes, and but this thing could really blow a big gasket. It's a tough one. It's a mess, a real mess. That was a picture of actually lightning that was caused by the heat and stuff coming out the top of the volcano, which is unbelievable. The volcano was launching this stuff into the air. And you can see from the boat picture, I mean, that's a good bit away, but look at all that crud coming out of there. And it's covering everything out there. Unbelievable. So while I didn't do this when it first happened, I probably should have. I do apologize for that. But they've got a big mess to deal with in the Philippines. And I was looking down here, the government work was suspended, and of course schools are closed for just hundreds of thousands of people. That they had ash from the thing 20 miles north of Manila, so there was ash falling all over Manila. On Sunday, because of the ash in the air, they had to suspend all flights out of the Manila airport. Which they're back. Some flights are flying, but not all. They're still having some problems with air flights. Now you've got problems with this ash is causing problems with the fishing industry, with the agricultural industry, because it's just destroying crops, both crops for food for the folks in the Philippines and crops for money, like their coffee crops. The last disastrous eruption of Taal, the Taal Volcano, it's Taal, was in 1965, which killed hundreds of people. So hopefully that, it's not going to get that bad, but the danger zone covers a lot more people than have been evacuated. So tough situation in the Philippines. All right, moving right along to our other natural disaster awaiting thing, just with an update. Thankfully, an update and not a lead story again, and that's from Puerto Rico. They are finally in Puerto Rico. Let's get rid of that picture. Puerto Rico is about 99% now has their electricity restored, finally. The scorecard in Puerto Rico, they had a week ago a 6.4 earthquake, followed on Saturday by a 6.0 earthquake. And since December 28th, they have now had over 1,000 quakes of 2.0 or greater. So that's more than just a little aftershock. 1,000 of them, 2.0 or greater. And there's still folks that are, of course, lots of stuff's been destroyed, but between those two big ones, there's still tons of people that are living in tent cities. Many of them homes were destroyed, and many of them are there because they're afraid to be in their homes, because they fear the damage has been caused and one more little shake and their homes will collapse. And that's in the whole southern region down toward Ponce. It's not around San Juan where the cruise ships mostly go, but down on the southern side of Puerto Rico near Ponce. This is the largest strike the island has had in more than a century, causing hundreds of structures to crumble, forcing thousands of people from their homes and leaving millions without power before they finally got it restored. Last night, they had it pretty much all back on, and hopefully it doesn't get shaken off again. So far, only one person has been killed, and there's been several people injured, but only one fatality from this, which to me is remarkable. Of course, many of the residents are still reeling from the devastation caused by Hurricane Maria a couple years ago, which was a deadly Category 4 storm that battered the island in September of 2017. That storm exposed the fact that buildings across Puerto Rico were not up to code. The series of earthquakes are only amplifying the structures have been further weakened. So they're still having these aftershocks and small earthquakes are going on. There has not been a big one again since Saturday, which gave them a chance to get power back. Now, there's some other things that are being looked at as the cause of this. And again, folks, as you know, I've said this time and time again, I do not make political statements on this channel, except where it deals directly with our travel and cruise industry that we all are involved in one form or another, for cruising or like me, that I do this program and cruise. But there's 9 months ago, there was a study done in Puerto Rico that stated that fracking was causing some of the earthquakes that they were having across the island. That was 9 months ago. And that if the mining companies continued the fracking policies that they had, that there could be a big earthquake coming. Now, what fracking is, and I had to look this up. I didn't know anything about this stuff. And again, I'm not making a political statement, because there's definitely a conservative side and there's a liberal side to this argument. So I'm not going there. But fracking is, they inject, best I understand it, high pressure water down in the ground to cause fractures so that they can make it's easier to get oil and gas reserves out where they're drilling for oil and gas reserves. So obviously the business side of the thing says, oh, fracking's no problem at all. The more liberal side of things that are environmentalists and so forth are saying, oh, wait a minute, that's causing all this problem because it's screwing up the way the earth is underneath the ground, which is causing these earthquakes. Again, I'm not making a political statement on this, folks. I think that clearly, since this has happened like it has, there's been 1,000 earthquakes from 2.0 or greater in the last 2 weeks, was 14 days, 16 days. So I think somebody needs to look at that and see if that is possibly causing some of this. Now, this fracking procedures are not done just in Puerto Rico. I mean, they're done in this country too. They're done out in the Midwest and Oklahoma. There's done in West Virginia. Probably in Alaska. And so again, folks, I'm not making the political statement. I'm not siding one way or the other. I'm just saying, boy, that there's clearly seems to be some questions that might need to be answered. So that's all I'm saying. All right, one more commercial break here, and actually, this is going to be me talking for a second. My project with Viator, as most of you know, I represent Viator now and can lead you folks to excursions literally on any of your cruises you go on. I've propagated about 90% now of my website. And I had one of my viewers to suggest to me that why don't I do one of my shows about the website and how it can be used and do some screenshots and so forth. And I thought that was a terrific idea. So I probably need to catch a slow news day and do that. Of course, that means I've got to do some work on it and get screenshots done and stuff that I can show you on the show. But we'll show you how I see my website can be of benefit to all of you guys that are looking for cruises or going on cruises. And again, yeah, I've got a website that I try to attract people to get them to book cruises with folks that I deal with. I'm not a travel agent. I don't book cruises. I'm not associated with anyone in particular. I have a couple people that I use a lot. And I will help quarterback a cruise through the booking process with them and make sure you're getting the right kind of deal and so forth. That I do. But anyway, we'll talk about my website and I'll show you how I visualize that working. And yeah, I'm going to make a little bit of money if you book an excursion. I'll make a few pennies, which supports this channel, which is a good thing. So we'll do that. And with much going to Kentucky next week, I'm not sure exactly when, but in the next week or so ish, I will do a show where we'll take a block of time and talk about the website and how it might benefit you when you're considering going on cruises. Also, because I'm a little guy, one-man operation, I don't do worldwide cruises. I do mostly stuff around the U.S. that departs from the U.S. And not all of them, because I don't have time to keep adding stuff to the website when I start. Especially, I've been working full time on this Viator project, and I haven't added anything new this past week, so I need to get back and add several new things. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. So the Viator link, there's always going to be a link down in the description of videos. You can always go to this channel at any of my videos and go to the description, and you can get a link to Viator, and then you get, as long as you get to their little search thing, you can plug in any protocol city, destination city you want, and get the excursions that are available through Viator. It can save you some money. They're great people to work with. I have booked excursions with Viator a number of times, and it's always been a good deal for me. Generally, it'll save you a little bit of money over what they charge you on the cruise lines. Now, there are still places like, Viator can go into the private islands in the Bahamas, for instance. So they can't do an excursion like to Great Stirrup Cay. That's Norwegian. So, if you're on a Norwegian cruise and you go into Great Stirrup Cay, you have to go with an excursion to them. So, all right, sip of coffee. Thank you. One more story this morning, and that deals with a carnival. And those of you know me know that I have long been a carnival guy. I've been on Carnival cruises much more than any other cruise line. I've always liked Carnival. I've had fun back from my younger days. I'm just going back into the early 80s when I started cruising. On the same token, I give Carnival hell when I think they deserve it. And many times the cruise industry has deserved our wrath over and above our love of cruising. However, when they do something right, I'm going to point that out too. And this is one that Carnival is showing that they're trying as well as anybody in this industry. Over the past several months, Carnival has implemented a number of changes that dramatically reduce single-use plastics and eliminate items that are difficult to recycle or separate from food waste on their cruise ship. And here's a list of changes that have made on the 27 Carnival cruise ships. Plastic drinking straws have been removed. Single-use plastic drinking cups have been replaced with sustainable alternatives. Frozen drinks that require a straw are now served with edible straws or reusable hard plastic straws that can be used over and over again. Guests who want a straw for other beverages can purchase a reusable stainless steel or silicone straw at the bars and the gift shops. All beverages are served in glass, paper, or reusable plastic tumblers, whether that's hot beverages. And all hot beverages have a cardboard lid. Carnival gift shops and retail partners no longer use plastic bags. They do not use plastic bags for laundry pickup. Individual amenity bottles of shampoo and body wash have been eliminated by installing bulk dispensers in every stateroom. Stateroom bar soap now comes packaged in a cardboard box. Most individual servings of packaged items like foil-wrapped butter pats, condiments, salad dressings, cereal boxes, and sugar, excluding artificial sweeteners, because there's no way of handling that other than in those little packets, have also been eliminated. Decorative items used in the food beverage service, such as steak temperature markers. If you get a medium rare steak, they put a pink little plastic stick in it. They're gone. Balloon drops and plastic glow sticks are done. Next, Carnival is installing food waste digesters across the fleet that use a natural process to break down food waste and facilitate the separation of non-food items, allowing for safe, environmentally friendly disposal. The next two ships, which is the Mardi Gras that comes out later this year, and a yet-to-be-named vessel to follow, will be powered by the world's cleanest burning fossil fuel, LNG. We've talked about that numerous times. And they're making a move now that's the LNG ships that's going to be the future. They also have advanced wastewater treatment system that treats sewage and water from showers, galleys, laundry, and hand wash sinks. So Carnival is making some serious efforts to become more environmentally friendly, to lessen the impact of all the plastic crap that ends up getting in our oceans. And my hat's off to them for that. So there we go. That's what I'll say nice about Carnival today. Tom Henry says that they're having some boomers this morning. You know, it's been rainy here too, Tom. Of course, Tom's over in Richmond, and I'm in Lynchburg, which is what's it? It's 100 miles, 90 miles away, 80 miles. I don't know, not too far. But anyway, it's I've heard some off in the distance this morning, but hadn't been too many real close. So that's good. I don't like storms. But anyway, that's about it for this morning. Again, if you're new to this channel, glad to have you. We have a good time here. We talk about a lot of things that have to deal with the travel and cruise industry. We go from good to bad to whatever. I mean, here I talk nice about Carnival today. Carnival does something stupid again, I'm going to be the first one to be up here fussing at them too. And they know it. So that's just the way it is. Anyway, so I will be back again on Thursday. We'll do this week. We're, of course, here in our normal studio. And then next week on Thursday, a week from this coming Thursday, I will be in Kentucky. So I will attempt to drink all of the bourbon in the state of Kentucky with my son to celebrate his birthday. That's why I'm going out there. To see the grandkids too. So that's coming up next week. So that's it for this morning. As always, glad you could join me. Keep an ear to your notification bell if you have subscribed, and hit the bell notification for something live that pops up on us without expecting it, or when I post a new video. So that's it for this morning, guys. This is the Fat Travel Guide. Glad you're with me. Be good to each other and smile a lot.
Thank you for watching today's travel and cruise industry news. Join us every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning at 6 a.m. Eastern for another episode. Travel and Cruise Industry News is a production of Chili's Cruises.